Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Favor, and I'm just going to be moderating today's session. A big welcome to you all once again. I'm a better Microsoft Learning Student Ambassador, by the way, and we're going to jump right straight into today's section. Today's section is focused on today's section is focused on building a simple virtual agent solution. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. And for those that joined in yesterday, you know our speaker already. So I'm just gonna do a brief introduction and then she'll introduce herself. So her name is Salmah Lasisi. Salmah, can you say hi?
You? Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
All right, great. Hi Salmah, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you?
I'm excellent, I'm good. So can you just kindly introduce yourself for those that didn't join yesterday's section?
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere you are joining for this section. My name is Salmah Lasisi, and my name is Salmah Lasisi, and I work as a Power Platform developer, and also I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, MCT. I have experience working as a data analyst and also as a Power Platform developer. So for the Power Virtual Agent for the 30 days of learning, I'll be the one taking them, which I've started yesterday with the introduction to Power Virtual Agent. So today we'll be doing more on we've done the story of the stuff. So we are trying to get our hands clean with trying to make sure like how our chatbot is doing. So let's get started. I'm trying to share my screen now. Okay, so yesterday we started PVA, our Power Virtual Agents, one of our services which is being offered by Microsoft Power Platform. We talk about Power Virtual Agents, low code chatbots, and how some of the feature of the PVA and some of the importance and what makes it. And I was able to go to more like trying to go to the just talk about the home page and some of the things to actually know about. So today we just building like a simple PVA solution for our chatbot. So let me just try to go back to my PVA. So yesterday I talked about how to sign into your PVA yesterday. So we are going to do the same thing today, and I'm going to try to sign into my own account. And I remember saying that for you to be able to make use of any power platform, you should have your developer account, and which I think that has been covered last week. So from your developer account, you'll be able to use your PVA account, like to be able to sign into your PVA. You're able to sign into your PVA. So today we just be building like just working on a simple chatbot because this class is kind of basic and I don't want to kind of complicate things and say some things like more like abstract. So I'll just try to make it basic and I want it to be interactive too. I'm not just the only one trying to get this thing done. I want everybody to be on ground, ask questions or things that we can just kind of so it's going to be interactive. So this is my PVA interface. When you log in for the first time, you're going to see something like this. And yesterday, I was able to go through the different pages in our PVA. I talk about our home. I talk about the home, which is this one, which is kind of active here. And I say this is where like we have for us to customize, we have our test bus. So when you are working on your chat bus, you can use this particular area to kind of track between your topic or your chatbot topic. And I also talk about the topic here. And I say that when you are working your chatbot, this is where you use. From here, we have a different topic This is where we view our topic, and this is where you can delete, create, or edit your conversation topic. No matter the chatbot you are working on, anytime you are trying to like the interface with your chatbot, this is where you are going. Anytime you're trying to look for anything, your chatbot here, you have to go to your topic page. And I also talk about the entity, which I said for the entity, you can create a new entity and you can view your entity from this entity page. And for the analytics, I said most time when you are working on your chatbot, you want to see kind of the metrics to monitor how your bot is serving your customer. So from here, you'll be able to get your analysis, like your metrics, like, okay, you're not just working on a chatbot, but in this case, you are getting the values, you are getting the data of how this thing is being used by your customer and how to publish. So these are the things we talked about yesterday when we were talking about the introductory section to PBA. These are all the things I mentioned yesterday. And I said, depending on how your chatbot is being designed, you can actually end the conversation yourself, or in some cases, maybe we have some question because PBA like require more like data. You have to be able to like answer some questions for your user. So in some cases where maybe in that case you don't have the kind of information your user needs at that time, you can transfer it from your chatbot to your live agent. But this is like a basic section, so I won't be going deep into this. So I just wanted to just do like more like trying to refresh like this is just what we did yesterday. So today I'll just be moving straight and try to create a simple chatbot. So for me here to create a chatbot is very, very simple because you're not using any code, you're not using a C# or anything. And this one just like a normal trying to ask a question and also answer it. So to create a chatbot, the first thing I'm going to do, just like I said anytime you're trying to create a conversation topic or you're trying to view or delete, you just have to go to your topic page, and this is my topic page, which I mentioned yesterday. We have some some builds, which is our user and yeah, we have our user and system. Which I said for the user, we have like lesson 1 to 4. Sorry, excuse. So if you open your own PVA page now, you're going to see everything. Like you're still going to see the lesson 1 to 4. It is pre-built there. So it's something that you can just go in there to just test one. Like let me just try to do something like this. Going to my Hello page or my Hello, because this has been like here. So let me try to go for my greeting. Okay. So if I'm to start my chat here with hello, so I'm going to get something like hi, this is something we did yesterday. And what I did yesterday, this is still part of what we did yesterday. I said you can create your own new topic, or sometimes you can just kind of try to modify the topic that is there. And this is one of the previous topic that is in your PVA page, which is our greeting. So yesterday I was able to just modify it and add my name to it. That okay, so instead of having I am a virtual agent something, so I added my name to it, and I was like, I'm here to answer any question on 30 days of learning. So to tell you that sometimes you don't have to kind of create a new chatbot yourself, you can just go to the one that is there and try to modify it to your own taste. But today we're doing something different, more like just trying to modify. We are going to create our own chatbots. We're going to create our own new topic. So this is how we are going to do. So we are in our topic page. First thing we are going to do, because we are not modifying in this case, we are trying to create a new topic. So I'm just going to click on this one. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to do something. So for those that are like you're trying to log in for the first time, like this is the first, like this, I'm actually having an account that I'm using already. So let me try to create a new bot. So instead of me adding to it, so I'm going to create a new bot because I'm creating a new bot for me, a new chat bot for myself. So I'm just going to click on this new bot. So when I click on it, it's going to ask me the name. So for this particular store, for this particular chatbot, let me just try to name it store location, because I want to, okay, let me name it store location. I'm still going to explain what my chatbot is going to be doing. And it's going to ask which language will your bot speak. I mentioned yesterday when I was talking about some of the features of the chatbots, is like we have more than 15 languages when it comes to PBA. So you know, be like, okay, some of my users are like they actually prefer it to be in French. So when you want to customize the chatbots, you want it to be in English, in French, in any other language, you can just speak. But in this case, I'm going for my English and it's going to ask for the environment. I'm still using my existing environment, which is the one you created, and I'm going to create a new chatbot. So I'm creating my own chatbot now. I'm going to have this like coming. I don't know why it's. Let me try to reload this. Don't know, let me try to reload. Okay, still loading. So for me, I'm creating a new chatbot. You can see now. So for the name of this chatbot, I'm having the store location. This is what I stored when I was trying to create a new one. So what am I trying to do this time around? I said you have to be creative because this for this particular chatbot, what is learning from it? As okay, I have let me say that I have a store. Yeah, like I have my own store that sell, let me say, kind of well, I say, okay, a store that deal with furnitures, and I have different store. Like I have store in Lagos, I have in Abuja, I have in Ogun State, and I have in Oyo State. So not like I'm trying, like some of my user does not know where, they know I have different store, but they don't know where the store are located. It's not every time that they have to call like, hello, I want to ask if your store in Lagos, send me the address or this. So I'm going to create a chat box that anytime my users use this, like, okay, trying to look for the location of this particular one, maybe the one in Lagos or Abuja, is going to reply them. I don't have to be the one to pick the call and answer the question. So I'm going to start that. So just the first what I did just understand, like explain. Someone sending. Okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to get the store location. Like anytime I use that, I was like, okay, I want to go to this one in Lagos. It's able to send them the address. So from here, after I've done this from here, what I'm going to do, let's do this. So I have this. Just like I said, anytime you are trying to create a new chatbot, you have to make sure that you are in your topic. So from this topic is going to ask me to, I'm going to create a new topic because in this case, I want to be able to modify my own chatbot. I'm not using the PV, like I want to be in charge of my design. So I'm going to go to new topic. Then it's going to ask like before we start asking the question, there's something I think I also mentioned it yesterday, which I said trigger like, okay, when the customer asks the question, what are you expecting? Like, it's not like I'm not saying the exact keyword, like I'm not saying the exact word, I'm saying like something like a keyword, something like phrase, like anytime the user kind of asks, is going to give them the answer. So for this particular chatbot I'm creating, I want to be able to get the store location. So what I can just like, okay, some of my keywords can just be need help because at this point I need help getting the location, which is one of the keyword, one of the phrase. So I want to add, like you can add as much as possible because in this case you are trying to think like some user can just be like, let me just type anything, just trying to get the particular keyword. So let me try to write another keyword in this case. I'll just go for store location. And that is what they want to do, like store location. You can just be like, okay, something just say, I want to find store location. So it might not be the exact word, but in this case, I'm more concerned with my, like in this case, I am more concerned.
Okay, while we wait for Salma to come back, does anyone have any questions regarding Power Virtual Agents in terms of building a bot? Because I can see that on the chat there was someone having an issue with creating their own bot. Okay, I can see the screenshot that you provided. Did you follow the normal process of creating a bot, and do you have like a stable internet connection? Because sometimes what happens is when you do not have a stable internet connection, it gives you that issue or that problem. And also, are you using one of the accounts that either your student account or the developer account that we created as part of the onboarding process? Okay, so I don't want to deviate too much, but would you mind sharing your screen and then I can like unmute you so that we can walk through it just in case anyone else has a similar problem while we wait for Salma.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
okay.
see
Okay,
your
thank
Yeah,
you.
screen.
we
So
can
I'm
start.
very, yeah, okay, thank you. So sorry for that. That was my network. So let's continue. We've created a new bot which said the name of our bot is our store location. Because in this case, what we are trying to do is to provide our user with the store location because we have different, so we're trying to instead of them calling. So the first thing we are going to do, which I said, is to go to our topic, create a new topic. So for me, I'm going to create a new topic. And the first thing is going to ask is for you to be like the trigger phrase, like, okay, this particular store location, what are the keywords it's looking for? What are the like the services it's trying to render? And I said some of the services like sometimes some people can just like need help. So I'm going to add so many to it, like store location, because I want to get the store location about the store location. For the store location, I can like add some other things like I need help, something I myself most type always type when I'm chatting the chat. I need help. And let me just add one more to it. I think we've added three already. Okay, so let's go with this three. So you're not saying that anytime this is going to be the first word, like as the user can just type like the phrase word here is maybe the store location. So anytime the store location is being like this is like our input from the user, we are going to answer the question from it. So let me just try to rename this one. Let me rename the topic here to store. Let me just rename it store location too. And okay, so we have something like this. For me, we're able to create a like three trigger phase for it. Like anytime like I need help, the store location or need help. So from here, what I'm going to do now is let me save this. And let me try to save this. Then I'm going to go to my topic save. Okay, so I have that already. So from the existing topic we have here, I have the store location because this is a new one that I'm trying to create. So from here, I'm going to click on this tree. So what am I trying to do now? I've already created the bot, but for this bot now, it is not working. So let me try to add my information, like trying to put my output from it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to record something like we call, okay, so this is my phrase. From here, let me try to track between topic because anytime I'm working, I always try to track between buttons, which is this. So I make sure that this one is there. So from here, so let me hide this so we can and close this. for me, I hope you can see my screen. We have something like anytime a customer enters that I need help. So let me try to test this. So I have to like my interface is I divided into three. So I have my left hand side, I have the test box, and also I have this for me to be able to test my bots. So for me, when you have your trigger phase, which is something that is going to trigger the kind of action or the response we are going to get. This is what you're going to get. You're going to have something like this message. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to delete this because I want to design this myself. I want it to be my test. So when you have your trigger phase there and you click on this plus sign, the plus sign, you're going to have 5 actions. They are going to have like 5 actions. So with these 5 actions, you can design your chatbot. And those 5 actions are doing different things entirely. Everything is trying to make your chatbot like more responsive and be able to like give answer to your user. And the first one, which we are going to use, is to ask a question. So in this case, we are saying when user type in, I need help. So we are asking a question like what kind of things you need or something. So in this case, it's like in a question format. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on my question. So in this case, I'm going to ask question like, okay, so after a user type in, I need help. Let me say that the question I'm going to ask is, what is your email address? Because I want to be able to track everything about my customers. So when they are like, if there's anything like the store location and anything, the first thing I'm going to ask them is, what is your email address? So that is the first question I'm going to ask. So when I input my use, like when you click on your ask question, you're going to have something like this, which the first thing you're going to have is ask a question, which is where you are going to add the question. So then after the question, we have something we call it identity. And this identity, we have different, these are, and this will let me, like yesterday I explained on entity. So when you ask your question, we have different entity, which as the program. But in this case, we are dealing with an email address. So our entity has to be in an email format. So for me, I'll just go to this email. Like I actually want to use an email because I'm asking for their email address, not their age or name. So I'm just going to click on the email. So you can see now we have the identity here as the email. And one thing I will want to mention that when it comes to PDA, what PDA mostly uses is a variable because it's telling you that it's trying to kind of store your information, like it's making you to be able to reuse it. So let me try to rename this one here because you have to make sure that your variables are like that you like easy name. So let me just change this one to variable email. So I know that even if I want to use this particular email elsewhere, anytime I'm calling the variable email, what I'm getting is the email address of my customer. So from here, I've actually renamed variable here to email address. Okay, so from here, let me cancel this. So we have our ask question. So after asking the question, what's next? And this is now left to us because I am the maker. I'm the one creating my chatbot. What did I want to like? What are the things I want? So for me, I might just be like, okay, when I ask them a question, I should be able, like they are going to reply, and they are going to reply it. I'm storing it in my I'm storing it in my like their reply here is being stored in my variable email here. So anytime they answer me, because like I'm storing it in the variable email. So like, okay, after asking the question, what is the next thing I want to say? So let me say that, okay, so I'm going to click on the plus sign. I'll be able to use my ask a question. This is for me to ask any kind of question that I want to do. So after the next thing I'm going to do is I want to answer back. And that is will make me to go to show a message. So for this message, the way the message is going to work, on like the question, which is like input and output, like you are expecting a reply because this is the question. You must have a question, like we are asking a question. That means there should be an answer. And that is how we are able to create a variable so that when the question is being answered, it should be stored somewhere, and that is where we are storing it in our variable email. So after that, I'm not saying I want to be able to show them a message. So for this particular show message, you are not asking anything. In this kind of case, you are kind of showing them a message for this. So you are not giving kind of input or anything. So from here, let me just say that so that I can reply the email that was supplied. Let me just kind of say like, thank you. And thanks. Okay, let me just thanks for providing your email address. Thanks for providing your email address. I'm not going to say that your email address is. So in this case, I've asked a question like, what is your email address? And I've stored it as a variable in my variable email. And that is one thing I want to make is I said you can use this anywhere. So instead of me now trying to like come back here and stress myself, so what I'm going to do now is I want to input the output for my add question. So what I'm going to do now is on this, you can see here from this show message, we have different you can actually style your text. You can style your text, can bold it, like trying to just style like this is like show message. So you have to be creative with your stuff. So I'm just going to go to the last one, which is to insert a variable. For this particular store location, the only variable I've defined here is just the variable email. So in some cases where you have different variables, you are going to see everything there. But in this particular one we are working on, just have one variable, which is my email address. So from here, I have my email address. So let's just try to test this before we continue. Let me save this. So let me save that. Okay. So I'll go to my test bot. Like I'm trying to test, like, okay, what have you been doing? Let me say that, okay, need help, which is a phrase for it to figure. Okay. So from here, okay, let me say need help. Like we need something to figure our chatbot, and that is why I said for this case we are using the need help. Remember, there was the one we did yesterday, the one we edited, we use like LOI or something, but in this case I'm trying to use something different. So from your need help, so you can see it's going to ask a question, which is the first thing it's going to ask, what is your email address? So in this case, let me say, okay, let me do this. Let me say my email address is this at gmail.com. So my own response here is my email address is this, which is my input. So you can see it's not saying that for the show message is giving us like, thanks for providing your email. This is what we've actually written in our own bot. Your email address is this particular list. And the reason why I'm trying to use this email is yesterday when I was talking about entity, like I said, the format in which you, like when you are asking, like when your user is trying to answer your question, you are not interested in all the information. You are just interested in just the format. And in this format, what we are interested in here is just this email address. So you can see this email address is the variable store here. So even though I have my email address is this, or anything you are trying to attach your email address is, it's just going to go in and bring out the variables in like the variable email. And this is one thing I showed yesterday when I said it, like the safe one that is going to be in your data, in your database. So in this case, it's just bringing out the email address for me, not all the story. Like it's not saying that your email address is my email address, this and that, but just the particular variable which I've actually defined it. And it's not something you have to stress yourself on. It's already there. It's something you can use yourself. So let's go back. So we're able to test the little thing we've done. So let me do something else from here. So you've actually asked a question that was your email address, and you have been provided with the email address. So we have like, thank you for providing your email address. Your email address is this. So I'm going to do another thing. After providing me the email address, I'm going to ask a question. So this time around, let me go back. Let me ask a question. So let me my question this time around, because remember the chatbots we are working for is for the store location. It's for our store location. So let me just ask like please, because in this case we have four different location for we have four location for our store. So let me now ask like please select the please select the location closer to you. We have different store. We have in Lagos, we have in Abuja, we have in Ibadan, we have in Oyo. So what we are trying to do here is I'm trying to get the address, like the specific address. I know that there is store around, but I don't know the address. So I'm interacting with my chatbot first to get the address. And now the question I'm going to ask the user is, please select the location closer to you. So for me, yeah, remember when we did for the email address, when we are trying to pick our identity here, we actually go for the email, because in that case, the answer that we're trying to answer, like the answer we are providing to the question is in an email format. But in this case, we are dealing with multi-choice option because we have four different locations. So we are going to go with multi-choice option. So from here, it's going to ask me for the choice. So I'm going to go here like Lagos, add another one, Abuja, add another one, Ibadan, and add another one, Oyo. Let me try to close this because this place is something is about to happen. So for me here, we ask the second question, which is select the location closer to you. And just like I said, we have four different locations. So we have the Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Oyo, which are provided. But something is going on as I'm picking like for the option, as I'm selecting the option, there's something going on. And what is going on is we are now having more like a branch loop, because we have different options. These different options have to be certified, like, okay, when this one is this, when this one is this, and that is where we have this condition, because we have multiple choices. So for the first one, we have it like when this one is equals to Lagos. The second one, when this is equals to Abuja. That means when the user click on Lagos, this should happen. When the user click on Abuja, this should happen. So what are we going to do this time around? So let me just try to rename my variables, because just like I said, I want my variable, like anytime, even if I want to use this particular chatbot, it's something I'll be able to understand. Like you have to store your variables in something. So let me rename this one to variable Lagos. So in this case, I know that, okay, this one is for Lagos. Okay, let me say this one is for Lagos. So the second one. So the second one here. So let me say this one is Abuja. We have the Abuja here. So what I'm going to do is here. Oh, yes, I think I've done something here. So from here, let me go back here. For this identity, which we've created for the user. So there is this like, so let me use the word, we have a tree. Then the tree has different leaves. And that is what the way the multiple choice, like there's a particular stuff is holding them, and what is holding them together is the question that is asking that which store is closer to them. So let me try to rename this. So this is where I'm going to rename my variable for that particular one. So I'm going to go here and name this variable location. So I have my variable location now. So this is where I'm going to, so that was actually, this is where I'm going to rename my location. So I have my variable location. Then let me now go back to this. So from here, let me now start to answer all these questions. Okay, so when this variable location, which is this, remember this variable location is coming from which location is closer to your side. So you're not saying if this particular location is equals to Lagos, what should happen? So I have to click on my plus icon here. When I click on my plus icon, just like I have different actions. So I'm going to show a message. Yeah, so we're going to explore different thing here. So I'm going to show a message like, okay, when this particular one is Lagos, what should happen? Then let me say like so let me try to answer the like the user have actually clicked on Lagos. Let me feel like our Lagos. So in this case, I don't want to distress myself. So what I'm going to do is let me just go to my variable and click on my variable location. Remember, this is a reuse something you can always, so I cannot be putting it. So I'm just going to be like our location. This one is going to serve as when this variable location is Lagos. So it's going to be like our Lagos store. Our Lagos store is located Idle Island, is located at Eco Market. Let me just try something. At Eco Market number 35 is Awolowo Road, Lagos. So this particular question is for Lagos. Like if the variable location is equals to Lagos, this is going to be like the reply. This is going to be like the message that the user is going to get. This is for the variable when it is Lagos. So let me go to the second one. When the variable is equals to Abuja. So I'm going to click on this node, which I'm saying like my plus sign. So I want it to ask a question. Like I'm trying to do something. So when it is Lagos, let me now ask a question. Oh, I should have done that from Lagos. I know about Island. Okay, I'm just trying to add some things to it. Like when it is equals to Abuja, ask a question. Like I don't know anything in Abuja. Like okay, let me see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing. So okay, let me do that for okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to remove this. Let me delete this. I'm going to use the ask question for Lagos because I think I still know some things in Lagos. We have island and this and that. So let me just go for this particular one and show a message just like I did for Lagos. Like in this case, I have to store my variable that my variable location store located. So I'm just going to do a copy and paste, but so that we can see this difference, I'm going to more like change some of the dates because I think so it's located at this. So when this one is located at this, say Ogba or AB market. So I'm just trying to so this is the correct for the first one is going to give the location for Eco market, which is showing the message when this particular is Lagos. For this one, which is when it is Abuja. So I'm going to show a message. So I'm going to show a message like okay, let me just say Abuja Ibadan store. Ibadan store. Okay, let me say Ibadan store. Ibadan store is not available. I'm saying that is not available for now. This is just like passing a message. It's not available for now. So I'm saying that when the location this time around is Ibadan, this is the response that is going to show that Ibadan store is not available for now. So you can try other store. Just try to add like thank you. Okay. Thank you. So for the last one, which is when this one is Lagos. Okay, when this is Oyo, so I'm just going to click on my node, which I said my plus sign. So I'm going to show a message this time around too. So I'm going to show you a message by this. So let me just say the same thing like Oyo So I'm going to use my variable here. So I just have to go to this and bring in my variable, which is the variable that store my location, and said is not is just I copy the one and change the figures or something here. Okay, so from here, so the store is located at this store is located at, okay. Let me just write something. Just write a copper. Yeah, I'm just trying to just like this particular or your. Okay, let me say the store can the store operates. The store is around the garage, around the roundabout. There's something to write about. Okay. So from here we have different reply or are different, like when the store location is this and that. So I'm going to save this. So I'm going to save this. Okay. Then I'm going to test my store because now I've added some things there. So let me see how it's going to look like. So I'm going to test mine. So this one, let me try to refresh it. Remember the first thing I said, the first thing we have is a figure phase that before anything starts showing, before I start location or anything, Lagos or anything, we have to have the phase. And that is why sometimes when you check some Chatbot, we have different, sometimes you have 20 figure phase because I just trying to use this like this. Because we are just trying to get the exact work. So now let me try 7. This network is slow. Okay. So now from here, let me try to test this out. So let me start with need up. So need up. So it's going to ask the first one, what is the email address? And email address is this. My email address is this. So after my email address, what's the next thing? So it's sending. Okay. Well. So now, thanks for providing your email address, which is the message. Your email address is this. Okay. After that, it's going to show a message. I just continue. So please just bear with me. My network is slow, and that is why it's bringing it. So it's move to the next one. Oh wait. I'm coming. Let me just check something. Let me try to reload this. I don't know why this is low. Try to reload everything. Oh my God. Mm. No. Let me test this again. Need a let me try test this again. What's the email? Okay. So you can see the next question is to select the location closer to you. So after asking the email address, it's not asking please select the location closer to you. So we have Lagos, we have Abuja, we have Ibadan, we have Oyo. These are the choices we added ourselves. Let me go for Abuja. So you can see, even though we have different multiple choices, but we are being able to define for particular, like being specific, like it's only when this particular store location is equals to Abuja, you have to give them the store location, and that is why it's giving like the Abuja store is located at this and that. So that means our boss is working. Another thing I want to do now, let me go back to this. Let me close this. Always like having everything like this. Okay, let me close the test back from here. So we have the Lagos, we have our Lagos. Another thing I want, let me save this. So another thing I want to explain about this is for this particular exercise, we're able to ask a question, we're able to use the show a message, and we're able to also use a conditional format. If we're able to add a condition, even though like when the way we like defined our own condition was when we asked a question, and we were able to ask the question when we have multiple choices. We are able to use the condition. So in some cases where you want to do more, yeah, you can do so more. And I remember one of the features when I was talking about PDA yesterday was when it comes to integration, you can use Power Automate with PVA. But I won't be saying anything on Power Automate for this particular section because this is the beginning of the section and it has not been. So for this one, if you want to do more like trying to work on it, you can call an action, and in this particular one, you are leaving your PVA environment to your Power Automate environment. So another thing you can do from here is we are not going to end our own conversation like that. Like, okay, after asking for the store location, so what next? So for this particular one, so let me start from Oyo. So after asking for Oyo, I'll just say, okay, I'm with this one. Of the things I was able to, like, I want to achieve with my chatbot is to be able to provide location for my user because I have different locations. And from here, I'm able to provide location for me. So I'm going to end it. So I'm going to end this conversation, and that is the last thing you can do. So you can end this. So I'm going to end this and end it with survey. So I'm going to end it with a survey here. Yeah. From here. So I'm going to end this with a survey. So I'm ending my conversation here. And for this one, okay. Okay, so you can see for this one, for when the location is or your ended because we're able to provide the location, and that's all. So I'm going to end So I saw the question in the chat box, so I just wanted to I want to do something like that. Someone asked that when you have the store location, like we have it in 2 different cities. Yeah, and that's what I want to do for Lagos. So in that case, what you are going to do is we have we have when this particular one here. So instead of me showing a message here, let me first delete this. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to try to answer this question. So when our variable location is equals to Lagos, yeah. So I'm going to add a condition. Sorry, let me delete this. So when our variable is equals to Lagos, so instead of me showing the message, I'm still going to add the condition to it. Can you hear me? So when I'm saying that we have 2 different locations this time around. So instead of have like, okay, when this my location is this, like the okay. For this particular one, then let me try to end for the other one. Just go back and end my conversation. So I'm ending for this one. For this one, I want to end the conversation too. It's surveyor. So what I'm going to do here, like there are 2 things I can do here. Let me just say, when we have this in Lagos, this is for me to add a condition. So I'm adding another condition to my Lagos store because I have 2 friends. I have 2 stores in Lagos. So what I'm going to do here is it's going to ask a variable when my variable here location is equals to go there. So is equals to, let me try to add a condition. So when it's equals to Lagos and let me see. Let me see. This thing is I've disabled my Microsoft, so I can't even use it. Trying to like, I'm actually done with the store location for the chat, but I was trying to. I saw a question here about so like when you're trying to define your location from here. What I'm going to do now, just go back to my variable location. So for my variable location, so I think the best thing what I'm going to do, let me just, this one I'm done with closing the conversation. From here, let me delete this one first. Okay, so this was what I was trying to add. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'll just go back to where my variables is for the first one which I defined for location. So let me just try to add another response to it. So if I want to address this, I can just address like for the Lagos Island and Lagos anywhere you want to add to it. So let me just go back to my variables where this one is Lagos and close this conversation too. When I'm done with this, I'm done with this particular one. Let me just end this. Let me delete this. Delete this. Okay. Let me just go down and delete this one. I don't need and end the conversation. To delete this. I've ended that already. Delete this particular one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my Lagos and end the conversation here too. So then I'm going to save this. So I've done all this about my look. So let me try to test this my chatbot now. So I'm going to test it from here, and I'm going to start with to need help. From here, it's going to bring out for me to bring my email story. It's going to bring all this one out. So this particular exercise just read a basic one. And from this one, we are able to use some of it. We are able to ask a question. We are able to add the conditional formatting, and we're able to like show a message. And another thing, which is for us, we end the survey. So we're able to end the survey. So from here, we have 5 things we can do with it. We can actually, with this, you can customize anything with your chatbot. You can ask a question, you can use a conditional, you can call an action, which I said is more like integration with Power Apps, and show your message, and you can direct to another topic. So from here, I can actually be direct, like I want to do, like I have another topic from here, like from here to maybe greeting or something. So you can play around with it, and you can end your conversation with a survey or something. So this is, I'm going to be ending the today's section on PVA simple app here today. We're able to just bring this, just build a simple chatbot to be able to get the information about our store location. Thank you very much, everybody. And once again, let me apologize for my network. So thank you. Any question on anything? Thank you. So over to you, Favor.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much, Salma. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining today's section. Like I'm gonna go through the chat again to see if we have any question. Okay, no question. All right, so as usual, the recording will be made available, so you could go over it again. Okay, someone's raising up his hand, please. You can drop a question in the chat if you have a question. Hello, you can unmute your mic. Let me
Yeah,
just check.
thank,
All right, please ask your question if you have a question. Okay. Um,
okay. I had an issue. A question to Salma. Can you
yeah,
hear
please
me?
go on. Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. After you've given the bot the preferences to the answers, can you add another question or maybe a message to the one that you've given it? Like imagine if the bot was having a numerous database.
Yeah, you can do that. That is why I said it's about what kind of information you are, like you are designing your chatbots to be able. You can ask question, you can show your message. Sometimes you're just trying to get some kind of, because you have to get some information before you're able to provide answer. So depending on what you want to design, and that is why I always say before trying to open your PB or something, just have a rough sketch of what you want to do. And with that, you can have your tree diagram to be able to answer some question that when this is being asked, I want this one to go from year to year. So you can do that. You can add 2 or 3. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Salma.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought I was lost again. So that is it. You
So
can have
did I answer your question, please? Yeah, Uluwatobi has a question here. He said for a store location like Lagos with two different locations, can we further have choices under Lagos to pick from before our
yeah,
main
that
Lagos
is
display?
right.
That's what
Yeah,
you just
okay.
explained now. So I get that there are no more questions. And Salma, thank you so much once again for today's section. It was great having you once more. So we've learned a whole lot from today's section, and like I said, the recording will be available. So if there are no further questions or anything, we'll be wrapping up today's class here. And feel free to ensure you make posts on Twitter, LinkedIn, and with the right handles, the right hashtags, so we could see that you're actually learning, and also try to like bring in more persons to join the class. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Thank you, Salmah, once again for the great session we had with you. And for now, we'll be wrapping up today's class. See you all later. Thank you so much. Bye.